All right, everybody, it's Serveaux. I've seen a couple things on Reddit and a few other websites about people needing to know how to prepare a screen properly for screen printing. So we have a speedball screen here, wooden frame. We have the Yazoo kit for screen printing, photo emulsion. It comes with this little bottle here called a sensitizer. It's going to appear to be empty, but there is a fluid inside of it, or maybe a powder perhaps is a better way to describe it. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to fill it halfway up with water and shake the living heck out of it. I also stir it with one of those throwaway chopsticks you get at the grocery store. That seems to help, and that's going to be like a brownish black color. And once you have that all stirred up, you are going to want to put in the screen printing photo emulsion fluid. So when you open this up, it's going to be like a medium blue color, and you're going to dump this bottle into it. And I use the chopstick again to stir it, and it will become about that color green right there. And then you know it's good to go. I'd show you that, but I already have one prepared ahead of time. And I keep it in the refrigerator when I'm not using it. It'll keep for about 4 weeks in the refrigerator. And I give it a little shake. Now, I took it out of the refrigerator about an hour ago. You want it to be room temperature before you use it. And as you can see, oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong bottle. That's the photo emulsion remover. Let me go grab the right bottle here. They look almost exactly the same. There it is, I'm sorry. Shake. Now let me open this up here and show you. Oh, it's got a little safety thing on the cap there. Oh, and of course now that we're trying to do it on camera, we're having issues here, but there you go. So what I do is I pour a bead of this inside the mesh here at the frame. A little goes a long way, okay? And I gotta try and get the rest of this cardboard off of here. You're supposed to use rubber gloves for this. I forgot to put some on, so we're just gonna get a little messy here, but that's okay. So you can take one of your scrapers. I've got the red speedball one. I've got the one that comes with one of the kits. Also got an old one from a UDO machine. I do prefer the rubber ones, they're a little more flexible. So you're gonna hold onto your frame, and you are going to pull this fluid. Now this is photosensitive emulsion, but according to instructions, you don't have to do this part in the dark. Okay, and you want to use the least amount possible, and just get a really thin layer on this frame. So as you can see, I didn't quite use enough there, but you want to go very sparing. That's a little bit too much probably, but hey, if I mess it up, then you know what not to do, you know. So I'm gonna try and get as much of the screen covered as possible. Now, if you don't, let's try to get the center, because when you go to print, you are going to cover the edges with tape anyway. So it's not a big deal if you don't get it all the way to the edges. Now, to tell you the truth, I'm probably going to make this look a little easier than it actually is. I've done this multiple times now. So, we got that side pretty good. We got a little dead spot right there, but we're gonna flip it over, and you'll see there's a lot of excess on the back. Some instructions tell you to do both sides of it. We put the photo emulsion on both sides. I found that when I do that, I just end up with way too much photo emulsion on the screen, and then I have all kinds of problems with it. So I'm just kind of taking the excess here, smearing it around, trying to hit those dead spots where I can, because if you don't get those, you're going to have a dead spot in your design. Your ink's going to fall through. The one problem with the speedball system is I don't like that everything is in jars. When I had the UDO system, a lot of things were in squeeze bottles, and that was a lot easier to manage the amount of liquid you were using with everything. So like I said, this is light sensitive photo emulsion, obviously. So once I'm done here, I'm going to be hiding this in a closet overnight, because it's pretty late right now, or early depending on your perspective, and letting it dry. And then we will come back to when I see I got excess when I flipped it over. So an easy thing to do is just scrape it back in the bottle, you can reuse it. Okay, so if you got any extra, once you got everything covered, you definitely want to get rid of that. And this stuff isn't cheap. It's anywhere, you can catch on sale sometimes for $25, $22, but normally this ranges $30 to $40 a bottle. You get about 7 or 8 screens out of a bottle, so you don't want to waste too much of it. It really increases your cost when you're making designs. I just do it over a sink. It's a little less sloppy that way, but you can see every time I turn this over, there's more to kind of mop up here. And you definitely want to get all that cleaned up before you set the screen to dry, because you get any kind of drips or any kind of extra thick spots in the emulsion, it's not going to want to work properly. So you have to be very sparing and get rid of all the extra here. And I know this is a long video, and I'm probably not going to speed this one up because I really think you need to be able to see the whole process here. We just about got it now. There's not much coming up anymore when I run the scraper across, so we're probably just about ready to go hide this thing in the closet. If it seems like I'm being really picky with this, trust me, you have to be. I've messed up many a screen by leaving too much emulsion on the screen itself, so you definitely do not want to do that. My one side over here, you can't probably see it on camera, has a little gap, but like I said, we're going to be taping over this, so that is not the end of the world there, people. We're going to be okay. Alright, flip it over again, and yeah, we still have some to get off here. Like I said, I thought I put a little bit too much on, and I was absolutely right. I definitely stuck too much on there. I panicked when I saw the bare spots there, and now I've created more work, but it's salvageable. Nothing to panic about. It's a little frustrating at first. I screwed up probably a dozen screens before I got the hang of this. So, but you know, that bottle I showed you earlier, the photo emulsion remover, that comes with the kit. So if it doesn't turn out, clean it off and try it again. So there we go. I got most of it back in the bottle. I'm a little messy, but we can wipe that off. We can even scrape that off and put it back in the bottle if we really want to save as much as we absolutely can there. All right, so I'm going to put this in the closet, and we will get back to this tomorrow. All right, see you soon. All right, so we're back. I still have the screen in the closet, and right now I'm in Photoshop working on the picture that I'm going to put onto the screen. So this is for a project that involves a deer skull and a logo. So I went online and I found a picture of a deer skull. I have that in a layer. I originally had this deer skull, but I didn't like that as much, too much black. So I went with this one, and then I found a typeface, a font as you call it, that I like, and I put the name in here with the logo, and I put it all together and I saved it, and then I printed it out on my printer on a regular piece of paper as a test print. You can see that turned out really well. And then what I do for the transparency is I bought a package of really cheap transparency screens online. I put on transparency, but I make 2 of them. That way it's a little darker when you go to burn it into the screen. Speedball does sell sheets that are frosted that you would only need 1 of to do this, but cost $10 to $13 for a handful of sheets, where I was able to get 100 of these transparencies for much less money. So I would recommend just going online or going to an office supply store and just buying yourself some of the clear ones and just doubling them up. When I go to print it, I use black ink only, so it comes out much darker, so it'll be easier to burn. So as you can see, one's a little transparent, but when you put 2 together, it becomes much darker and it will burn your image a lot better. So I'm going to get the screen out of the closet, and we're going to set up our light, and we are going to burn the image to the emulsion. So we'll be back. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, I'm back, and we are going to show you how to line up the transparencies so when they print we don't end up with a double image. So I take the test print that I printed out, and I'm going to put the first layer down on it and make sure that I'm lining it up exactly. If you hear any ambient noise, we have all the Servonians here today, so you might hear people running around talking in the background. I got Prime across the table from me painting some stuff. Hey Prime.
What's up, Serveaux?
So everybody's here today working on various things. So I'm going to line that up there. I'm going to grab me my little double-sided tape, which is what holds half of this channel together, right Brian?
Basically.
It's all duct tape and double-sided tape and glue, dowel rods. That's what holds the whole channel together pretty much. It's been like that since day one.
Tape and tears, buddy. Tape and tears.
Yeah, lots of tears. Okay, so I got double-sided tape on all my corners. I have it lined up with the paper drawing. There we go. So now I am going to put this on top, and we need it to be exact. This is where being OCD really comes in handy. Okay, so I'm going to remove the paper one underneath and put a blank sheet of paper underneath. I'm going to do that quick. I'll be right back. Alright, so I got a blank sheet of paper underneath that. That's layer one of the transparency, and we need to line these up perfectly for when we go to burn the image. Hey Prime, how's this looking?
Move over left a little. No, move. Wait.
Right about there, do you think?
Yeah.
It's always good to have a second set of eyes looking at this stuff too. And push down your corners and hold it up to the light. It's off by a little bit, so if you see these corners don't quite line up, so I printed them back to back. So another thing I can do too is just line up these corners. So let me do that. We'll be right back. So Prime's eyes are a little better than mine, so he helped me line this up, and we got a good double layer here. So what I'm going to do next is stack everything together, this and the screen.
Don't lie to them. You did most of the work.
Well, I mean, I mean, you helped me line it up, or it would be a blurry mess. All right, so I'll be getting back to that, and we'll see you in a little bit. All right. All right, we're back, and I'm gonna show you how to burn the image into the screen, but I'm just gonna walk you through it, and then we're actually gonna do it for real, because the first part of it has to be in the dark due to it being photosensitive. So I'll walk you through it, and then I'll grab the screen because I can't really film in the dark. So this is the UV light that comes with the big $100 to $130 speedball package. I have it on one of my microphone stands right now. And if you look at the instructions, it tells you what height to put them at and for how long. And I just dropped something. So I'm gonna put that up in the air for now. It's got a little on-off switch on the cord. So what you're gonna do, the speedball kit also comes with a black piece of paper. It's pretty much just a piece of construction paper. So if you don't have one, you can always just grab a black piece of paper. Okay, so set that down. And then I have an empty screen here. We're gonna pretend that this is the green one in the closet because I can't show you this with the lights on. So you put that over top of your black paper, okay? Oh, I have Anna here with me, by the way. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Serveaux.
And then here is the piece that we stuck together. So pretend this is the one with the green on it, and you're gonna want to line that up where you want to have it. So obviously you want to try and get it centered. And then if this was the green one, you would see green right here. And then we'd be turning off all the lights. And then I would be turning on this light right here, which you can see is kind of a black light. I'm gonna turn the light off for a second here. So that's what it would look like. And you let that on for, I believe it's 18 minutes. And it's going to burn this image. Ooh, that's funky. It's gonna burn this image into the green emulsion that would be on here. So we will grab the actual emulsion sheet. The filming is going to start in the dark, just so you're aware, so you're not going to see anything at first in the next part of the video. But we're going to do that, and we'll be back shortly. Get this light back on here. There we go. Turn this off. So we're going to do that, get that ready, and we'll be back. All right, so I'm back. I have the black paper on the bottom. I have the frame set up with the picture on top of it, and I have a roller here, and I'm going to measure 18 inches from the screen for my light. Oh, sorry, rather 16 inches from the screen. There we go. And I'm going to turn the light on, and we're going to burn the image. There we go. So this UV light is burning the image onto the photo emulsion, and I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me do this for 18 minutes. So I will come back as soon as this is done. All right, see you shortly. All right, sorry about that. I was right. It was 16 inches, but it was only 8 minutes exposure time. If you do it longer than that, you might have problems. You might overexpose it. So we'll take this off. And then, as you can see, we now have the design on the screen. So the next thing we will need to do is take this out to the sink and rinse it off, and this part should become clear where we can push ink through it. So we'll do that shortly. I just have to tape up the edges of the frame and we'll be ready. Actually, you know what? I might tape them up after that part. We'll be back. All right, so we're back in the kitchen. We've got our screen. Put on some cold water. Got my sprayer here. Spray down both sides of the screen. Gotta use cold water for this. There's a couple different theories on how to do this. Some people say use a brush. I like to use a magic eraser, so we'll give this a shot. I like to keep everything wet as I'm doing it. Back in there. And just gently scrub. Don't go too crazy or you're gonna run into problems. The pull off part you don't want to pull off. And you can see it's starting to get lighter as I scrub. That's a good sign. We want that to be completely transparent because that is where we're going to push our ink through. A little time consuming, but you can do it. Take your time. Don't push too hard. Don't go too crazy with it. As you can see, it's already coming together for me here. You know, like we talked about when we were making the screen, we were putting the green emulsion on. Thinner is always better because if this is too thick, you're going to have a heck of a time getting that to come out properly. So I'm going to grab the sprayer again, spray it all down again, both sides. Just hold it up to the light, make sure it looks okay. Should be able to see through it. So you can kind of see my hand there. Looks like we did a pretty good job. Hold up to the light for a second. And yeah, we pretty much got it. The one corner here needs a little help. Right over here you might be able to see there's a little bit of green there yet. Put the sprayer back on. Spritz, there we go, it just came off. Do a once over on everything again. Once this dries, it's going to be really hard to hit any spots that you missed. So you got to be a little picky about it at this point. Go. Sprayer away. We're going to do one final check here. See what we got. Let's see. Let me check all the edges. And yeah, we are looking good. I think we got it. It's always a little intimidating doing it on camera in case you mess it up, but it's looking really good. So we're gonna let that dry, and then next I'm gonna show you how to put that design onto a t-shirt. So we'll be back. All right, so I have this platen, as they call it, made out of foam core. It's got corkboard on the back. It's pretty sturdy. Cheese helped me make it. Put some double-sided tape on it. And I'm going to stick this t-shirt on. I'll be right back. Alright, so I got the shirt on the platen, and then next we are going to put it into my little makeshift rig I came up with, and then we are going to print the shirt. Alright, we'll be back. Alright, so next I'm going to tape up the corners of the screen, and we'll be right back. Alright, so I got the edges all taped up, and we're going to get ready to print the shirt. We'll be back. Okay, we have it where we want it on the shirt. We've got some white ink here. Gonna squirt a bead across the top. There we go. I'm gonna grab my squeegee here. Gonna hold this still. Put it at about a 45-degree angle and pull downward. I'm gonna go back up. Try to grab as much of the ink as I can and try to get it into the design here. All right, a couple more passes here. Let's see what we got. Not too bad. Needs a little bit of touch-up work on the skull, but it turned out pretty good. I like to take a little paintbrush and touch up the bad spots. And there we go. We're going to let that dry, and we're going to clean up the screen. We'll be right back. Alright, so the cleaning procedure is pretty much the same as when we made the screen. Just want to rinse all the ink off the squeegee and off of the screen. And this is done, so I'm going to set this out overnight to dry, and then tomorrow we're going to iron it. So I will see you tomorrow. Alright, so the last part is ironing the t-shirt. I have this on a miniature ironing board right now. If you don't have a miniature ironing board, you could just put it directly on a table. If you're going to do that, you want to have a piece of parchment paper up underneath the shirt. But since I have an ironing board here, I don't need the bottom piece, but you should also put a piece of parchment paper on top of your design. You take your iron, you plug it in. Now this is a cotton poly blend, so according to my iron cotton blends, I'm going to want to set this to 4. And then what I do is I just go back and forth, applying even pressure for a few minutes to the whole design, and this will help set the ink into the shirt and will hopefully keep it from wearing out and cracking when people wear it. Another thing I recommend is to the customers when I give them shirts is turn the shirt inside out when you wash it, and if you're okay with it, don't put it in the dryer, just let it air dry on a hanger. But if you do put it in the dryer, try to use medium or low heat to protect against the cracking. Now this is just the regular speedball ink here. They do also make a flexible ink, so you could use that. That helps the design not to crack as much. It is actually flexible and it will prevent cracking. So you iron that for a little bit. Take your parchment paper off, you let it cool off, and it's ready to go. Now what I also did, you may see there's a little bit of ghosting on some of the ink lines here. Not only did I do a layer of white, I also did a layer of glow-in-the-dark paint on top of it. I have Cheese here with me. Cheese, can you hit the lights a second?
Here we go.
And you may be able to see. No, not really, but that does glow, I promise. So, all right, lights, Cheese.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. And there we go, folks. That is the entire process of screen printing using Speedball and a couple little tips and tricks that I've come up with. So if you like this video, let me know. I can always make some more screen printing videos. See you next time, folks.